your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. It is Wednesday, 7 o'clock. I'm doing good. How are you? If you're on with me, please chat with me. I am just going to look real quick for our live so I can have it up on my thing. Hey, Pen, how are you? Let's see if I can get all this straight. Yay! Okay. Woo! It's getting easier. So how is everybody tonight? I've been doing a lot of work this last week. Hey, Iris, how are you? Lots and lots and lots of work because it's the first of the month and everything changes, like club and classes and everything. So yes, I know I designed it that way, but it's okay. All right, so with that being said, talking about classes, here is the infamous class. So it is a little pricier because you get 6 cards to create and a double pocket easel organizer with a mini calendar and a cute cactus pen. I'll show you in just a second. So the techniques that you're going to be learning, pinwheel, herringbone, and embossed resist. So I don't know if you've ever done those before, probably not the way we are going to do them, but there you go. So I'm going to show you the actual project now. So this, there we go. This is our easel, double pocket. Oh, and I forgot to mention the card candy. So here's our cute cactus pen. There's 6 cards in here, mini calendar. And then none of the cards, all of the cards only have background. There's no words on them. Okay? So the idea is you've got this window sheet and you could punch out more or less whatever you want, but I'm going to hand you 6 for 6 cards. I know, but you won't know what words you want to go to what. So you're going to stamp 6 of these. And this is on a window sheet with a couple glue dots. And what you do when you need it is you pull it off and put it on your background. So that's another way to keep cards ready to go for you. And then I've got this nifty handle that I haven't seen anywhere else that I designed. So hopefully this will be something cool that you'll want to do. So you sign up in November. And I ship the first week of December. So let's see. And then club. Let me get them. One sec. Excuse me. They're not in there. Hold on. I want to show you. So the fitting florets, the brand new, I already went through like 3 packs of these, so that's why. The brand new, they're called gold adhesive back swirls, not gems, not rhinestones. They're swirls. Cool, right? So they are the club bonus for this time around until the 15th. So let's see here. What else do we have? Let me flip you around. We're going to get to creating because the project's pretty involved. So hold on just a second. Okay. Let me see if I can flip this and do this and figure out where the camera is. There we go. Still learning the new phone. And it's okay. All right, so in focus, I hope. We're going to scooch. We're going to do. So this is I am calling this, here's the flyer in the right, I can't think of the word. Here's the flyer in the right way, not mirror image. So, ay, sorry about that. So, okay. But it's 25 bucks mailed to you, 15 per team. So, there you go. All right. Let's get going. So, if you want to order for club, let me get it. Hold on. It's in here, I promise. Maybe it's not. No, it's right here. Okay, so if you want to order for club, host code is down here. 3J, S as in Sam, J, V as in vase or vase, Y, 4R. So there's your code. That is till the 15th. So you got a little bit of time. All right, so now we can get to creating. All right, so you need foam adhesive strips for this guy. And this is what we're creating tonight. So this flips like this. I guess we could put more here, but I thought it would get too heavy. Okay, let me show you the back first before I flip. So the back has stuff too. And yeah, I guess I could put here too, but I didn't think of that. So here's your shaker. Okay, here's your flip. Here's your flip. Here's your gift card pocket. Here's your main part of the card. And I thought, oh, once you're done with the gift card, if you want it to sit all nice and pretty and actually like stay put, you could cut this part off if you wanted to. So that's the thought process. Okay, so this is what we're making tonight. I think this is an original design. I think. Tell me if you've seen it somewhere. I mean, obviously we have gift cards, obviously we have flips, but putting it all together this way, I don't think I've seen it anywhere. So we're going to go over this piece by piece, and then tomorrow morning I will post the tutorial for you. So, okay. Let's go. All right, so this is for the set Trees for Sale. What's the main reason for me doing this card other than it was in my head? Also, because there was a really cute die set that sold out really, really quickly, and I wanted to have a reason to use this without the dies. That's the why. Okay. Okay. So you're going to need Trees for Sale. You can do it with any Christmas set, but you know, if you're doing by the sample. Okay. And then we've got Sparkle and Shine Sequins Assortments. These are really cute little stars and like iridescent and white. Very pretty, very snowy kind of. Okay. Then we've got these gorgeous, and I bought these because they were gorgeous, and then I'm like, now what am I going to do with them because they're heavy? They didn't have a hole on them, so I couldn't make them earrings. I'm like, what in the world am I going to do with them? So this was kind of the answer for that. I know. All these things, right? And then last but not least, effervescent elements. Be very careful when you open these. They are balls and they will roll. You will know if your table or your room is level in about 2.5 seconds. Why? Because my room's not level. They were rolling all over the place. So there you go. All right, so the ink pads we have for this, it's a big card, so we got lots of ink, right? Balmy Blue, Early Espresso, Night of Navy, Sahara Sand, and Mossy Meadow. Yep, really. My instruction sheet to help me guide me is 2 pages long, and usually it's a half a page, give or take. So, as some of us should say, off to the races, right? So there's our envelope. All right, so we're going to start from the bottom to the top. So I've got my window sheet, not to be used right now. We've got the Snowflake Specialty Vellum. This is the velvety kind of polka dot looking snowy one. Okay. You can use whichever one, but piece of basic white cardstock, a piece of Night and Navy, and a piece of Mossy Meadow. We're going to start with the Mossy Meadow. So for the base, okay, it's 10 inches. So we're going to cut 1 inch off of our 11, okay? Then we're going to go 4 1/4. So you're going to be able to get 2 of these out of the one cut, okay? So 4 1/4 by 10. And then on the 10-inch side, hold on, we got to swing our arm out. On the 10-inch side, we're going to score at 5.5. You ready? And 8 1/4. And you're like, but none of the sides are even. I know, it's okay. Okay, then I'm gonna grab, it's a 1-inch circle punch. We don't carry them anymore, so I just got this from a competitor store. We're just gonna say it that way. Okay, so we're gonna notch the bottom. Okay, that is going to be our gift card notch. Okay, and I'm gonna fold up and I'm gonna fold up. Okay, so why did I do it this way? And I made this a tiny bit shorter than the sample because I realized you can't hardly get your fingers in there. So that's the why. But why did I think of this? Well, I wanted to be able to cut this off so it wasn't super bulky after I used the gift card. And secondly, and this is the main part, I don't know how many of you have done gift card pockets and you hardly have any room for your card for decorating, right? So I wanted something that I still had a full card instead of losing half of it to my gift card. So that's the why. If you don't like that, then just do the 5.5 and do another 3 inches and then fold this up, notch it here, and do it like old time. But that's my why. Okay, got it? So, okay, so that's that piece. We're going to cut all our pieces, okay? Now, I'm going to grab my snowflake, my snowy snowflake, okay? And we're going to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. You want to make sure your blade is really, really sharp for this paper because vellum, for one, tears easily. That was 4, yes. And with all these velvety polka dot things, they catch differently. So you want to make sure that you're good and sharp, okay? So this is going to go right here. Got it? Okay. So before I get going further, I'm going to glue that down because I don't want to lose it. Okay, so I'm grabbing my Stampin' Seal and you're like, but John, then you'll see it. Yes, I will. It's okay. Because, hey, look, I have this whole piece right here that covers. I designed it that way on purpose. Okay, so you're going to just do like 3 strips right in the middle. Okay, and when you glue it down, it should match just perfect, 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay. Yeah, you see it, right? But it's going to come down and it'll be okay. I promise. So there you go. Okay. All right. So now we're going to glue our white piece that goes in there. I figured I'd take everything down from the ground up so that way you could see exactly how this was done. So, all right, so basic white cardstock. This is cut at 3 inches. 3 inches by 4 3/4. And I believe I need 2 of these. I'm gonna look ahead for a half a second. So Not exactly. Let's see. For the flap, it's 3.5 by 2. I'm just gonna see if I have to. Okay, 3 by 4 3/4. 3 by 4 3/4. Yep, I do need a second one of these, so I'm gonna do that while I'm here, and then put it to the side and forget about it, and then you'll be able to remind me, hopefully. Okay, so okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our one we just did. You ready? I hope so. It's gonna be fun and it's gonna be great. All right. So now we're grabbing our Mossy Meadow and our Night of Navy, unless I throw them all over the place. And I am stamping So Very Merry. So I need to find it. And I need to find a block. Okay. So Very Merry. And I'm also stamping this little tree as well as the outside of the tree. Make sure to grab both. And a block. Okay. So I'm just going to stick those there till I'm ready. Got it? So the So Very Merry. We are going to stamp in Night of Navy. Not upside down, hopefully. And we're just going to stamp it here. Okay. And then I'm going to clean quick because I'm going to need the block again. We're going to be busy tonight. So, all right. So Very Merry goes back in the case. So because photopolymer stamps, guess what happens? They get lost, don't they? At least for me, they do. So I need to make sure I can find them. So I put them away, or if I don't have time to put them away, or if my fingers are messy or something like that, I put them on the top of the box so I can find them. Okay. All right. So now I'm doing Mossy Meadow. We're going to do this skeleton part of the tree is what I'm going to call this. The framework, as it were. Okay. So there's that. Peel that off, put it back in the thing, right? Take my own advice, right? Okay, now we're going to grab our block part of the tree, the framework, the pretty part, okay? And then I'm going to stamp off once and twice, and then we're going to stamp here. Look how pretty that is. Look at that design. I love that. I love when the stamps do the work for you. What do you guys think of that? Let's get it a little closer for you. I just think that is just perfect. Just my opinion. Take it or leave it, right? So there you go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, are you ready? Now I'm going to put that right there. Okay. So I grab my Stampin' Seal. And one thing to note, when this flips over, it doesn't go all the way down. So you want this to hug up towards the top. Okay? So don't center it. You're going to go up almost at the very tip top. Okay? If you want to mash on it, turn it over so you don't get fingerprints on your white. Why do I say that? Because it's happened more times than I care to talk about. Okay? All right. So let's get the flap going now. So we're going to go back to the trimmer, close the ink, because you know what happens, right? Okay. So back to the trimmer, and for the flap of the card, we're going to get some Night of Navy. I have an 8.5 by 11 here, and we're going to go 2 1/4, 2 1/4. Okay. Piles and piles, right? 2 1/4. It's a good crafting situation if you have piles and piles. 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. This is for this panel right here. Okay. I did cut it a tiny bit differently than the sample. And why is that? Because I honestly didn't like the sizing of it and I had to change it. It's just that simple. All right, so now we've got 2 inch by 3 1/2. Okay. All right, so now we're going to decorate this. This is this piece here. So we're going to do some paw prints in the snow and we're going to, you know, do all that kind of stuff, right? But the paw prints are going to lead away. So the dog needs to be on this side. I goofed, okay? So we're going to get our trees out first. And we're going to go opposite of what I did. So our paw prints lead to where the dog is instead of away from the dog. Because it's just a little goofy with it being that way. And it's okay. Okay. And if you want to do some more up here, you can do that. Oh, those look kind of spooky up there, huh? All right. Let's get some more cleaner going. We're in the desert. Even though it's colder, it still dries out, right? So we're going to take this off. And we're going to grab our other tree again. Okay. And we're going to stamp off here. And I think we'll be able to get 2. Okay. And then we're going to stamp and we're going to stamp off. Why? Because I want it to be lighter. It's just that simple. Stamp off, stamp off. Why do I say that? Because half the time I don't remember myself. And then I'm flipping it over because it's just a mess, you know? So that's my why. I usually have reasons why I do things the way I do. So there's our little paw prints that are going to be in the snow. And I thought, oh, they just need to be little. So we're going to do Sahara sand just so they can barely stand out. Okay. And let's see. I think we're going to do them up and put the dog up here. You can do whatever you want, though. Let's see here. Oh, I just put my thumb in it. No, they need to go this way. But the dog is big, so I think they got to go this way. And then we'll put the dog down there. It might still be wonky. It's okay, though. Best planning and it still happens, right? But you gotta have a dog in there. I mean, come on. Right? So, we only took Shadow up to the snow once. And he didn't like it. Go figure, huh? We also took him to the river. He was supposed to be a water dog. And he wasn't. We'll just say that very clearly. He liked his baths and his spa days, but he definitely did not like the water, as it were. We got him into the river with Joel, my husband, and the claw marks on him, and he nearly sat on top of his head to not have to get wet. It was hilarious, minus having to clean the claw marks off of Joel. But oh my goodness, that dog always had some kind of persnickety attitude of some sort, didn't he? So, all right, so this is gonna go together like this. I'm about out of Stampin' Seal. My goodness, tonight. I was doing my team gathering before and I ran out of tear and tape. I'm like, what was it called? It'll come. Might come in the back door when I want it to come in the front, but it'll come. All right, so this goes here. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I'm going to get my tear and tape. Talking about tear and tape. And we're going to seal that pocket shut. So when you're doing this, I purposely cut this bigger than it needed to be. Wider, shall we say. So that way, when you stick your gift card in, it's not going to get stuck in the adhesive. Okay? You want to make sure, even though a gift card is like 3.5 inches, I think, you want to make sure you have a 1/2 inch give on both sides. How wide is this? Just under a 1/2 inch. Yeah. Make sure you have enough room so you don't get your gift cards all gummy. Okay? It's just that simple. So just make sure you plan for it so you're not stuck trying to figure it out or put them in sideways, upwards, you know, that kind of, you don't want to have to do that. We have time right now. It's not December already, so make sure that you can do that. Okay, so this is going to go like this, and that's our gift card pocket right there, and then this folds up like this. So we're halfway, kind of, but we still have the shaker to do, so to me that's not halfway. Okay, are we ready? I hope so. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the page here. There's a lot of dimensions for this. So for the what I'm calling the shaker sleeve, okay, and that's this navy blue skinny that goes across. Okay, that's what that is. So that shaker sleeve is done with the Night of Navy. I need to put this somewhere I don't lose it. Good luck, right? And I think I cut this incorrectly because I need this to be still 10 inches, and I don't think it's gonna be. I'm gonna measure and make sure. 8.5. Now I need another sheet. One sec. While I pull another sheet. I guess I should have cut that first. I didn't think of it. Oh, okay. So 10 inches and then 3 1/4. So I'm going to do the 3 1/4 first, so I still have 11 inches on the rest of it, so I don't waste like this time. Okay, so 3 1/4 by 10, which means an inch off, right? Okay. All these fun things. And then we're going to score this. 1/2 of 10 is 5. So we're going to score this. And we should, that's our piece, okay? Now, if you want to round the corners, if you want to do more, go right ahead. But I'm just telling you what we got, okay? So now we're going to do 3 by 4 3/4. And I think I'm going to do one more for the inside because I didn't like that that was naked, I'll be honest with you. So, okay, so 3 by 4 3/4. Oop. I don't know why it did that. Hold up. That moved. Okay. Got going too fast, I guess. And I'm going to do one more. Why? For the other one, so I don't have a naked spot. It's just that simple. So 3 by 4 3/4. Okay. So there's my other for the other card. Okay. We can't have any naked spots. Right? So, alrighty. So 4 right now, this is done. We still have more to go. Okay, but in the meantime, now we have 2 pieces to decorate instead of 1. Oh my goodness, right? So now we have the front, the back. Oh wait, we need one more, don't we? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Oh heavens. Okay, hold on. Good thing we have this last piece, huh? I guess I can't count that high tonight. So we're going to do one more at 3 by 4 3/4. Okay. My goodness gracious. Paper, paper, paper. Okay. Okay. And if I have too many, it'll go on the other one, huh? All right. So now what we're going to do, we've already done this piece, so we're okay. So now I'm just going to do this one here. And I think I'm going to leave that blank, actually. Why? Because I honestly don't know what really to put on it. You guys got any ideas? I'm like, there's so many pieces and parts going on here. I'm like, I don't know. So, okay. So now that that's complete, I can put that on this piece here. Just like this one. All right. Might not have been straight, but it's there. It's definitely there, right? All right, so I'm going to start on the back piece just simply because it's a little bit easier. All right, so here's this. Needed one more block. Go figure, huh? All right, so I'm going to show you a technique, and I don't know. First, I have to find my stamps. Okay, I'm going to show you a technique, and we're going to see if you know about this or if you remember, okay? So just this simple, you bend it, okay? So you kind of anchor it down on the bottom on your center point and you bend it. Why? Because I want these cute lights and I want them all to be arched and I want the words to go with it. I don't want them to look out of place, as it were. So here's You Light Up the Season. Now, if you want these equally spaced, you can also use the Stamparatus, our positioner, so that way it's all an inch apart. But for me, I'm like, that was a little too far apart for me. Hey, Lise, how are you, hun? Glad to see ya. So I'm doing, since you came in a little late, I am doing an original card tonight, and I'm calling it a Shaker Flip gift card. So I do not believe I've seen it anywhere. So to get this shape the same, the curve rather, the same as before, make sure your stamp is really, really super clean. And it should kind of stay. And if not, you just got to kind of futz with it a little. Okay. And what I'm going to do, lay it down here. Lay it down there. And see if it kind of lines up. Yep. Okay. And I've got my balmy blue because I don't want it quite as dark. I guess these lights could be also like alligator teeth, you know. We could do all kinds of stuff with them, can't we? All right, so we're going to do one more fitted in there. Since they're lights, they're floating in the wind. Doesn't really matter if they're even, right? So there you go. So there's that if my ink will close. My goodness. So you can bend your photopolymer stamps. That's another way for things to work for you. Okay. So here's our this. So this is going to go on this side here. So this is going to go here. Okay. Because this is going to get glued down on the back. So there's that. That's going to tuck. Okay, now we got our front to do. Okay, so Night of Navy, we've done that. We've done that. Okay, now I got to stamp the front. We got to stamp this background here. Okay, So first we're gonna do the trees. So more of the same. A lot of pieces, but not hard, right? So the trees, we got to leave enough room for the greeting. If you aren't sure about how much room to leave, do the greeting first, but it's up to you on what you do, right? So there's my first part of my trees. Now we got to do the second part of the trees. Dry off that stamp a little bit. Okay, so here's my second part. If you want a different color, Old Olive would probably be your best bet, but I'm just gonna stamp off and hope. I wanted it to be almost exact, so that's the why. Go figure, huh? Okay, so there's my trees. And then we're gonna do some snowflakes up there. Now I'm gonna do mine in Night of Navy. If you want them just barely there, then use Balmy Blue. I wouldn't recommend using Pacific Point. It's a little bit too bright unless you tone it down with some like Wink of Stella or something like that, but it's a little bit too brilliant for what we're trying to do here. So I've got my little snowflakes, and I think my Night of Navy needs some more ink, but it can wait. Make sure to turn your stamp as you stamp so your snowflakes are not pointing in all the same direction. Okay, so we're just gonna fill up our sky. Thank heavens that we don't live where it gets icy though. That's my big thing. I am not a fan of cold. I have lived in cold and I am not a fan. So, all right, so now we're gonna do Christmas greetings. So if you want it perfectly straight, lay it on here, stamp it. Okay, why do I say that? Because if you stick it on there with your fingers, sometimes you get like a slight curve or something and it just doesn't quite work right. I want it to be straight. So here's my Christmas greetings. I chose to not do in red because I don't have anything going on in red and I didn't want to have to coordinate with that. So, but you're welcome to do whatever color you want, or you can emboss it. It's just up to you. I'm just telling you the whys. So there's my piece. That's for my front. And I don't think we have any more stamping to do. Whew. Thank heavens. So let me flip that through here. Okay, so this is the back, this is the front. So we're gonna glue this on here. And I'm gonna fold this flat so I can make sure that it is straight, or at least as straight as I can get. Right? So, all right, so now I need to cut the window sheet. Where am I going to put this so I don't lose it? Now I need to cut my window sheet and I need to cut my Night of Navy oval. Okay, so in the Fitting Florets new collection that we got, let me grab. Okay, so these are the dies. We went over this the other week. I think it was last week if I remember right. So we've got the largest oval with the hearts on it. We've got this, I'm going to call it a Victorian one. It kind of has the filigrees on the side. And then we have a more plain ribbed one is what I'm going to call this one. So the ribbed one and the heart one, I'm like, oh, I'm looking for size for the ovals. Okay. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the oval so I don't have to freehand it. I want to find an oval that fits just inside of this to create that pocket. Okay. And I'm like, Well, if this is the cutout here inside, this is way too big. So that's going back in the bin, as it were, right? So now I'm looking at this and I'm going, wow, look at that. That nests in there perfectly, doesn't it? That's going to be my window sheet because it's just a slight bit bigger and I can nest it inside. So make sure when you're looking at your products, you look for everything, right? So, all right, so I'm going to run this real quick. Let me grab my machine. Hold on. It happens to be right here. Hold on, though. Oh, up, down, and all around. Okay. Got it. So for dies, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you're looking at, it's the chunk platform, it's the adapter plate, it's your clear cutting plate. I say that in quotes. Look at how, yeah. And then my other clear cutting plate. Now, if I was doing foil tonight, I would definitely be changing my plates out, but I'm not, so it's okay. All right, so I'm going to grab here and I am going to throw down my die here. Now, one thing to remember, when you're doing your dies, don't always put them in the same spot. Put it over here, put it down here, whatever. Why? Because the pressure, if you always put it here, you're going to have a low spot eventually. I'm talking, well, depending on how much you do. For me, it'd be about a year. For you, it'd probably be about 5 years. But you still don't want to have a low point in your machine. So make sure you vary where you put your dies. Okay? Don't always put them in the same spot. Just that simple. Okay? So now we have our oval that just fell. Where did it go? I can't see. There we go. Okay? You can keep that for whatever or not. Up to you. The piece I'm interested in is this cutout. Okay, that's going to be our frame. Then I'm going to put this die away because you should see the piles, right? Oh, I forgot to show you the birthday basket I just did too. So, all right, so now we've got our window sheet. We've got our bigger one. This is going to go through about 3 times. Because it doesn't, window sheet is very hard to cut, okay? So you want to make sure your platform's as even as you can. And we're going to cut this through. That's completely normal because it's window sheet. It just, I don't know why, but it's always creaky, okay? So there's 1. Here's 2. Even with the new one, it just is tough to cut out. So we want to make sure it goes. Okay? There's 3. And if it doesn't cut out by then, I guess I'm out of luck, right? So check and make sure that there's nothing left in my die. There isn't this time. Usually there is. And then we're going to peel this guy off. Ha, look at that. Great. That came out. Now if the inner part did, that would be even better. But we'll see, huh? So let me move this. I know this is tough to see. So hold on a sec. Okay, so there's my cutout for that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch out as much as I can. I always have a couple spots that just don't go for some reason. You don't want to tear them. Instead, what you want to do is just snip, 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 and then it'll go, okay? I'm not sure why we have those spots other than my machine gets beat. I'm not sure, though. It's just what it is. So now we're going to finish cutting this as good as we can. This is extra. If you want to use it for something else, you're more than welcome to. But here's our piece that we're interested in. This is going to go, look at how well that nests. Just right in there. Okay? So we're going to grab our glue dots. Hopefully. We're gonna grab our glue dots, and we want this thing to really stick. So I'm gonna do quite a few on here, not just our normal corners or 4, you know. So we're gonna do like probably 6 or 8, depending on how this comes through. It looks like more like 8, but we want to make sure, because we're using those effervescent elements, the bubbles, and they're a little heavier. So you want to make sure that they stay in there and they don't roll like through the mail, right? So you want to really make sure this seals, okay? So I don't know how many this is, but it's a bunch. And we're going to do one more and then we'll be done. Okay. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here and hope and pray I go straight enough. The main thing is we want to make sure that all of the blue is covered so we don't have a hole, right? It's just that simple. We're just creating our pocket. Okay, so now we've got that going on. Now I need my foam adhesive strips. Excuse the reach. And because it's curved, yeah, we got a lot of work to do, don't we? So these don't curve, unfortunately. So what we gotta do is cut a bunch of bitty pieces so our straight lines become curves. It's just that simple until we are done. So what do y'all think so far? Do you like it? I mean, we've done shaker cards before. You want these to butt right on up next to each other. And if it's too long and sticks out, we got to cut it off. Like this one. Okay. That's going to go in the trash because it's twisted and turned too many times. But make sure to cut them straight up and down, not at an angle. Because if you cut at an angle, then you have problems with them button up next to each other. Okay. So trim, trim, trim. This is probably the most tedious part of this whole entire card, is right here. So do you guys like this new set? Have you seen it? Have you seen the flyer I posted? You know, all those fun things. The Fitting Florets collection. Okay. Some of it is limited time only, and there's other parts that are going to be carried over into the new mini catalog that starts in January. And all that's listed on the flyer that I posted. So just for your info, I believe the words that are associated with that one, the second set, those are going to be the limited time only because they're Christmas. I think everything else is going to go over to the new. And that starts in January. So now my snips are sticky. So we'll have to clean those. But part of the job, I guess, huh? So now I gotta, ooh, I cut that too big. I just need a little tiny bit off. And you want to stick that in there and you want it to just fit perfect. So that way, nothing falls out, right? So let's see if we can get this sticky off because that kind of stuff drives me nuts. I don't know about y'all. So, all right. So now what we're going to do, I want to move this as the least amount possible. So I'm actually going to glue this to the back of our piece here. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to glue. And let's see here. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. So we're going to center as best we can, go just under the score line. And then stick down. And then that should be the back. This should fold over, cover that. Yay! I love it when stuff comes together. So if you need to take static out, this is when you do that. Okay. Now here's the fun part. Always the hard part. Because we have those bubbles, okay, I cannot for the life of me get them to stay in here and then flip it over, right? So for me, the easiest is to grab here. And you're like, oh gosh, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I really am. So I'm gonna put my sequins in here. This is first. So I'm gonna do like 2 pinches, okay? So we're gonna do here. We're gonna line them up and put them all in the middle here. So my oval goes nicely, okay? All right, put the lid on that because I don't need extra stuff, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do, and I'm hearing you. Hey John, but you didn't put the bubble stuff in there, the effervescent. I know, but I have a way. Oh, I should open it though. So gently, right? So make sure if you got crumbs on your from other paper, make sure they're on the outside and not the inside, because once you seal this, guess what happens? You are done. So we're gonna go around and peel all these tapes off. Wish there was a better way, but I do not know of one. So this is not a card you want to do 50 of. Okay. Yes, I know we're not there yet, but all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack down this bottom, and I'm going to tack down about halfway up. And I'm going to hold my finger underneath. Okay. And I'm going to grab some of these bubbles and I'm going to throw them down there. And I'm going to hold my card with a little bit of a slant. Why? Because my room's not level. See? And they roll all over the place. So I'm just going to set them down in there and hope they go down into the bottom of that pocket. It's a little bit tedious, but they're so pretty. And we're going to do one more pinch. See, I'm losing them. I'm losing them. That's when you know you got too many. It's when they don't want to stay in there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that sucker down and be done with it and put the extras back. That wasn't too bad. There were only like 3 or 4. Okay. Almost done. We just got to put the twig up there, right? The sprig, rather. I thought it was the twig. Sprig. Okay, we're going to use our glue dots for that. And this is going to just sit right up there. Okay. If you want it somewhere else, you go right ahead, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So we got to figure out where it's going to connect. So I know where to put the glue dots. So we're going to put one kind of in the middle here. And I want it to stay right in that middle section. We're going to do about 2 or 3 here. Oh, there's one I missed. I guess we'll do 3. So there's that one. Then I'm going to kind of roll one down in here. And we're just going to roll it back on itself so that way it sticks. And then I've got one here on the end that I missed from before. So that one is going to go right here. Okay. And then we're going to stick this on, and it's going to be gorgeous, and it's just going to be perfect. Right? Okay. So have we remembered everything? Gosh, I hope so. All right. So we have our shaker. It works. If you want it to really, really shake, some of the bigger ones kind of get caught. You might want to do 2 deep, 2 of the adhesive strips deep, thick. But honestly, I'm like, I think it would wobble too much, and that's just not what I want to have happen. So I'll deal with a little bit of stuck. So there's our top. There's our panel. That was from before. I don't think that came out. Nope. There's our panel. There's our writing piece. There's another writing piece. And then we got one on the back too. So that is a full card right there. So, and then if you want to, you can coordinate the envelope with it. But I'll be honest with you, it's 8 o'clock. I'm done. So that is my thoughts on the Fitting Florets card. Stop by and see me Saturday, 29 Palms Farmers Market. I will be there with my birthday baskets, and I've posted them earlier, so you can just scroll through the page and see them at Facebook Stamping with Johnny, or Instagram Stamping with Johnny, or on TikTok also. So I will leave you with that. Follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com, and I will have the tutorial up for all the measurements for this card tomorrow morning, 9:30, when the blog hits. So thanks so much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.